Joey.
And we are live. What's going on, folks? Welcome to a special Wednesday night edition of the Nuclear Golf Podcast. This is our official U.S. Open preview show. My name is John. I'm the co-owner of Nuclear Golf and TW Legion. I'm joined tonight by Hutch Bennett, Tim Bowman, and Joey from Scheffler Fans. Got a lot to get into tonight, fellas. It's episode 15, if you can believe it. U.S. Open starts tomorrow. Finally, it's here. Super excited. We're going to get into everything about the U.S. Open tonight, talk a little bit about the featured groups, the course conditions, all these reports of carnage, the mowers, everything. We're going to get into the winning score predictions. We're actually going to have an LPGA professional join our show tonight. Nicole Felchey is going to join us. She's actually playing in the KPMG Women's PGA in a week's time, which is very exciting. Rory McIlroy going into this week, changing drivers once again. Lots of drama surrounding that. We're also going to talk a little bit about Bryson. He expressed interest in re-signing with Live Golf, so we'll get a little bit into that and much more. There's so much to talk about. Major Championship week. Hutch, are you excited for the U.S. Open?
If you guys remember, this was my number one ranked major. I've never been more excited. Well, that's not true. But I'm very excited. I'm very excited, especially because it looks like there's going to be some chaos, some carnage this week, and hopefully we got a winning score over par. Maybe Scotty will cooperate there, Joey, and try not to be that good.
Hutch, you might have some pressure on you, dude. If it's not a classic, I bet you people are coming at you on the.
I know, but it's set up to be one, though. I mean, it's got all the makings of it, right? Like they keep talking about how crazy it's going to be, how bad the rough is, how quick the greens are. Like they're setting it up like it could be what we hope it is. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. But if Scotty goes out and wins by 15 shots and shoots 12 under par or whatever, that's going to be kind of disappointing. I mean, obviously it'll be exciting for you, but it'll be disappointing for the quality of the event as a whole, right?
As much as I want Sky to win, I'll definitely put my ballot in for at least, if he's going to win by like no more than 2 strokes. I want Sunday to be exciting.
Yeah. I think that'll be good.
Yep, going to be exciting. Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. I just hope there's carnage everywhere. I want doubles and triples and quads like all over the place. I want to see what happened to a lot of players, how Phil was chipping from just off the green in the practice round earlier this morning. I want double chips, flubs, crooked sideways shots. I'm all about the carnage this week. I hope it, like Hutch was saying, I hope it's hyped up and it lives up to it somewhat. And it's not just like he said, where everybody thinks it's going to be carnage and then there's 15 people under par on Sunday. That'll be I'll be like, yeah, come on.
You know what's crazy though is like we talked about it last week about how 2016, as far as Oakmont Opens go, was kind of disappointing because somebody under par won it, but I didn't realize that there were only like 4 guys under par in that one. It felt like it was so much more, I guess, because I was comparing it to 07 when coming down the stretch, the guys who were 7, 8, 9 over were in contention. So the U.S. Open is great. I just can't wait. It's going to be a great week.
Yeah, we're going to get all into the carnage, talk about some of the videos here in just a minute. But before we do that, we're going to talk about some of the featured groups this week. Rory McIlroy, Justin Rose, and Shane Lowry, Victor Hovland, Colin Morikawa, Scotty Scheffler, Xander, Ballister, and Bryson, Fitzpatrick, Clark, and Woodland, Oberg, Scott, Matsuyama, Harmon, Mickelson, Smith, Minwoo Lee, Kepka JT, Spieth, DJ, Rom. Anything stand out for you guys from those groups? Anyone that you're looking forward to watching? Specifically, I'm interested in the Spieth, DJ, Rom group. I think that's an interesting one. 3 different types of characters for sure, and I think it's going to have a lot of eyeballs on it.
Well, yeah, not only that, but Spieth's going to go up to the highest point of the roller coaster and fall straight down many times.
If there's a big name who might make a 12 this week, I think it's him. Right? Like
the hot mics on that group are going to be absolutely electric.
DJ, of course, won. Hutch DJ won the U.S. Open at Oakmont in 2016. Shot 4 under for the week. I mean, it's going to be interesting. DJ was actually in the news yesterday. There was an exclusive. I believe it was it the Telegraph? No, it was the AP. The AP's Doug Ferguson reported that Dustin Johnson says he's got another 6 years of grinding before he calls it a career and goes fishing. His exact quote was that he'll be going fishing after 6 more years of grinding. So it's unclear. He's obviously a lifetime PGA Tour member. I mean, no indication on if he's coming back to the tour. I wouldn't put my money on it. I think he's pretty happy at LIV in the sense that he doesn't have to do a whole lot. Not a ton of grinding out there so far for DJ from what we've seen, but he obviously has intentions. He obviously has intentions to try. He still believes that he has it in him to win more tournaments. So there's
Tim,
that.
where you at? Go ahead and say it. He hasn't been grinding blah 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 in 4 years. I know you're coming with it.
I don't need to say it. His game speaks for himself. I don't got to say nothing at all. Not even.
You remember that Open though, because remember he was kind of in a rules controversy there.
Yeah,
in the last round, right?
He should have been 5 under, I believe. Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, I think he made birdie on the last hole to get to 4, but there was kind of some question on the 18T of, I think it was if he makes bogey and then they had the penalty stroke, we might have a playoff or something of that sort. Area. Yeah. It was a great. That was kind of some, and I remember at the time thinking like they're doing him dirty here. Like they just need to tell him if there's a penalty or not, and not wait till the round's over. Fortunately, he stuffed that 6-iron on 18 to a couple feet, and I think he made the putt too, so it didn't matter.
Wasn't the Sandy area the PGA at Whistling Straits that he had?
That was at Whistling Straits, yeah. But this was I don't remember exactly what happened, but you remember too. This was coming a year after he blew the U.S. Open at Chambers. You remember that?
Yeah.
He 3-putted 18 and gave it to Spieth because I was thinking we were going to have a playoff. I was going to had a 6-hour drive the next day. I was just going to watch the playoff the whole way. But yeah, it's the DJ group. John, I think for me, I'm more excited to watch Rory just because of how much he's been in the news lately. Like I want to see what happens. I think he went back to UI10, but I don't think any of that matters. I just want to see if he's able to find the motivation that he's been talking about not being able to find since the Masters. So it's, again, there's not a preferred group out of that because it's just the whole tournament. The tournament's bigger than anybody right now, unless Tiger was there.
Absolutely. We're going to get into a little bit what's going on with Rory recently. One thing that's been the center of attention so far this week, pretty much for the past week since guys started arriving at Oakmont, has just been the sheer amount of ball drop videos, skulls, crazy stuff going on in the rough. These mower videos are now going pretty viral. The mowers are out. All these, you got like 20, 30 friggin' staff, maintenance crew, mowing. So we posted a video today, actually, that the mowers were out. Phil Mickelson responded. He responded to our tweet. He said, "They're not working. They're not cutting shit."
It's awesome.
There's video out today. Phil Mickelson flubbing a couple of chip shots from the long rough. So obviously some frustration there from Phil, who had a good week. Phil played well. last weekend at the live event in Virginia. Looked like he was actually maybe going to pull off the win. It would have been his first win since the PGA 4 years ago. Wasn't able to get it done, but he actually hit one of the most incredible shots that he's ever hit in his career. Essentially a backwards shot. Essentially, it was like a flop shot.
A flop
kind of thing,
sideways,
right? Over his,
yeah.
It went kind of like behind him, and then he holed it. And it was crazy. It was really, really crazy. A couple different angles. Wild stuff. I mean, he still got the short game touch at his age, 54 years old. He wasn't able to close the deal, but he was excited that he was back in contention again at a professional tournament. And, he's playing this week, but I mean, he's voiced his frustration. They're not, you could see it. He wasn't successful at chipping from the rough, and he said that nothing's working with the mowers. So we'll see.
It was. He was right there last weekend with Liv, and that shot was crazy. That the stretch of that tournament was crazy. I thought they did a good thing trying to get ahead of the weather, so they went off early. So that was good Sunday morning watching was that tournament because they had a stacked leaderboard.
Yeah,
so haters can hate, but that was a great tournament, a great course in Virginia.
Did you see I think Brian Bros did a video on YouTube like yesterday or something like that with Horvat, and he lost his ball like twice, like right in front of the green. Like he'd hit the wrong ball. So, I mean, if whoever's playing out there the week before is probably at least a decent player, people are just losing their balls. Like you can't – there's like 3 of them with a 10-foot radius, and you can't even find it pictures. So
didn't I see they were going to have like 5 spotters on each hole who are just solely dedicated to keeping up with golf balls?
Dude, that's stressful. I mean, these volunteers are like usually older people. We're going to have to get some young bucks out here.
How many people are going to get hit? There's going to be some that'll just add to the carnage.
Maybe.
Xander commented on the setup, Tim. He said, quote, "I don't think people turn the TV on to watch some of the guys just hit like a 200-yard shot on the green. You know what I mean? I think they turn on the U.S. Open to see a guy shooting 8 over and suffer. That's part of the enjoyment of playing in the U.S. Open for viewers."
Yes.
Yeah. Like
giving the people what they want to hear. People want to tune in for the carnage. There's a reason that these videos of the rough and whatnot are getting millions and millions of views online. People are interested.
I'm having just as much fun having the golfers get interviewed and asking what a 18 or 15 handicap would shoot. Like you got Justin Rose saying that guys like us would shoot 140. That's so insane to think about, but it's actually 100% true because there's just no way we could handle that kind of rough and that kind of green speed at all. Like if these guys are struggling so bad out there during these practice rounds, I mean, 3.5-hour practice rounds for 9 holes. I mean, they're right. If we didn't have spotters, we would lose a dozen golf balls by hole 6. Easy.
JC tweeted out and said that, what do you say, that we should bring out like 5, 10, 18, like a couple different level handicaps on Monday and let them play. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
So would I.
I want to see someone fire at 200.
Yeah, and give them spotters because I want them to find their golf balls and play the whole 18. Torture. I want the torture.
Yeah.
I want to see some 150s.
The other thing about the carnage is like it's good to see the whole field like play difficult, but then also it makes like the last 9 on Sunday because I mean the blow-ups. I mean it could take literally two shots to absolutely 3 strokes. So it kind of makes it, no matter what the lead is, kind of more enjoyable to watch. Which I'm hoping this.
It's not safe.
I'm hoping this because the beginning of this season, I think it was like 3 tournaments in a row where there was like a 3-stroke lead heading into like the last 3 holes, and like each week it got blown. So I hope we can kind of return to that and get some drama on Sunday on the last couple holes. I think it'd be good for the game, for views, for everybody.
Yeah.
We did get a hilarious tweet from Justin Thomas this week. I'm not sure if you guys had a chance to see. He said, "So much talk about what would X handicap shoot at Oakmont. Why don't we find a way to make it happen? Have a 5, 10, 18, whatever handicap play Monday after the U.S. Open, back tees, full rules of golf, and see what happens. May have to let a few groups through and allow for 6-7 hours, but I think we're all here for it. No,
John, where did you see that at?
Justin Thomas tweeted that one day ago.
I know. I was just talking about that. I'm just messing with you.
He just talked.
John just locked in the podcast. I respect it. You know what?
Oh wow, you guys just talked about that. I must.
Yeah, John locked in. He was ready for the next. He's guiding the ship, and he was.
Guys, this is what John does. John does a step ahead. That's all that matters.
That's right, baby. And look,
I'll let Hutch host the rest of the show.
No. I still agree. The thing that we have to have though is that if they do that, they have to broadcast it. Like it has to be on YouTube. Has to be on YouTube. And just pick 100%. One of these YouTubers and put it on their channel.
Well, I don't know why they haven't done it. I mean, unless it's a
they used to do where they let those guys play the week before, like on a Saturday. They had like Justin Timberlake, and they would have like 3 other celebrities go out and play, and they'd be like, this is what they would shoot. And they would shoot like 92, 93, but it was kind of like the whole thing wasn't broadcast, so you didn't get to see all the carnage.
They've done some of that though, because I'm sure you've seen over the last week or so, like all the big YouTube golfers have gone out and played Oakmont. Like they had them all out the same day, and they all played, and they've all released videos of doing it. And you saw people like Joey was saying with the Bryan Bros and stuff, like they all shot way. Wesley, I saw in the second round they played, Wesley had to hold like a 30-footer to break 80 that day. So, and I think they said Grant shot like 82 in the 2 rounds they played.
I mean, it's kind of close to what Tim was talking about. Like YouTube's blowing up. Obviously, these guys like are looking for better like content to curate. Kind of a win-win. Like not only like is it their content that you want to see, but you kind of get to see someone that's like not necessarily like a tour level, but maybe like some, pretty good amateur.
It's relatable.
You'll go back. Yeah, you're like, it's not hack out there just swinging away at it, but you at least got a little bit more realistic.
I mean, the foreplay guys put out a video today where they played it from the tips.
I didn't see that.
And I think Riggs shot like 107. And Trent beat him. And Francis shot like 91 or something like that, I think I saw. So, that stuff is the relatable content that we're kind of here for, the prep for the real thing, so that we can all sit down and watch and enjoy this week.
We did get a quote from Russell Henley. So Christopher Powers over on X tweeted, "Been asking some guys today to say something nice about Oakmont. Give me a reason to be optimistic about this week. It's all carnage this, carnage that. Everyone's gonna die out there." He said his favorite answer came from Russell Henley. Quote, "I love this place. Obviously, if you, quote, lose the golf course with weather conditions and it gets too dry and too fast, that's something you have to worry about at a place like this with this much slope on the greens. But I feel like it rewards hitting the ball straight, missing on the right side of the hole, hitting it high, being able to work your irons, creative short game, having imagination with the putter. It's just a big boy golf course, and I love it." So Russell Henley is embracing the challenge of the U.S. Open this week at Oakmont. I mean, there's been a few other guys as well, just saying that, if you hit shots in the right spots, you'll have a chance. It also depends on the positioning of some of the pins for sure.
Yeah. It's the hardest test in golf, right? Like this is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. There's some pins that are just brutal if they're placed where they're placed. And there's some pins that are tucked tomorrow. Hole locations are out for round 1, and there's some brutal ones. So should be fun to watch.
Hopefully they interview Russell after his first quad.
You gotta like that. So.
But that kind of goes back to what you were saying, Joey, that coming down the stretch on Sunday, like a 6 or a 7 is not out of the question for anybody.
Even if Scotty's got a 4 or 5 stroke lead on 16, like even the best right now, you can't put it out of play that he won't.
No,
all it takes is a missed fairway by 5 yards. Like if it finds a bad spot in the rough, even laying up to make a safe third shot is difficult. So
that's why this week has been such a challenge trying to pick favorites or winners or who you're gonna root for, because like you guys have been saying, like anybody could make a 7 on any hole, like par 3, par 5, par 4. Like your guy could get taken out in 1 or 2 holes. And like you guys been saying about the U.S. Open being the toughest test in golf, I don't foresee somebody making a 7 or an 8 and then running off 4 or 5 birdies in a row to get back to even. Like once you've made a four over, like once you've made a quad or a triple, you're fighting to shoot even the rest of the day. There's just not a lot of birdies out there. So it's going to be, God, I hope this is awesome tournament.
It's like they say, you just got to embrace the suck. I mean, it's going to be a challenge, and there's going to be bogeys, and you just have to embrace the suck.
Hutch, we can't have the U.S. Open preview show unless we get into the weather. So Paul McGinley tweeted, forecast is dry until Friday, and from there, each day has a 50% chance of thunderstorms. He said, if it gets wet, then around 5 under likely as the winning number. If it remains dry, then +5 or more could be likely.
We need a drought.
We need a drought. Let's briefly run through the winning scores. We did get into this last show, but previous winning scores at Oakmont. So 2016, DJ at 4 under. 2017, Cabrera 5 over. 1994, Ernie Els 5 under. 1983, Larry Nelson 4 under. Johnny Miller at 5 under in 73. Jack at 1 under in 62. Ben Hogan at 5 under in 53. Sam Parks Jr. 11 over in 1935. And Tommy Armour 13 over in 1927. There was some real carnage back.
Let's get back to 100 years ago, baby. Let's go.
That was a great tournament. I was alive for it. It's actually really awesome golf. They were playing. That's one of
the 100 or so consecutive U.S. Opens Tim has watched.
Well, we do know that Tim is a dinosaur, judging by his technology.
He is a dinosaur.
They were hitting stinger mashies and niblets. It was awesome, dude. Those guys
I didn't know what you were going with.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like, I'm really hoping that we get carnage this week, to be honest. Like, I think every true golf fan is hoping for a little bit of that. Obviously, we want to see quality golf shots out there at the toughest test in golf, but we also want to see these players struggle at times. Like, it's, it kind of puts everything into perspective that, these guys with all their talent can still struggle out there. And I'm sure we're going to see that this week. Some guys are going to get embarrassed. There's going to be some really big numbers out there. We're going to see some rounds in the 80s for sure. Not just amongst the amateurs or even the US, the guys that qualified like at the final qualifying rounds, like the dentist, for example. But also amongst some of the PGA Tour and Live guys. We're going to see some really high numbers, and I'm looking forward to it.
If I set the over-under at 90.5 for the highest score of the week, are you guys going over or under?
I'd take the over. Like, I think it's it's very possible. It's very, very possible.
So do I.
I mean, Rory shot 81. Rory shot 81 last Monday, and he said he played pretty well.
And he birdied the last 2 holes.
So...
yeah. God. It's just so hard for me to think that a professional could shoot.
Yeah, but there's qualifiers and amateurs. Amateurs, it's the field.
I know, but if they're an amateur, they are like
going to shoot
top
91.
Of the top. Top of the top to shoot 91. Like, you're talking 20 over par. You're talking 21 over par. Like, that's.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone will because I think there's still pros at the end of the day, so I think it's like a bad 7 or 8 will screw you over, but then you bounce back. But dude, if you blow it for that many holes, that's just on you at that point. Like, if over 90 is going to be,
I'm gonna say under. I think 85, 86 is probably about as high as somebody can go.
That's still pretty high.
It is, for sure.
And they're only a
20 over.
No, but they're only a couple of swings away from that. So it's not like it's 79 or 80 and 10 shot. I mean, they're only a couple of
right. But I mean, these guys, like, if they get that far out of position, like, they're going to get back and play and limit the damage. They're not going to turn a 7 or an 8 into a 12. right?
Yeah,
Like that's just
my point. Is like they're still professionals. Like they'll bounce back at some. I don't know though. I mean, it's been happening. I mean, if it's gonna happen, it'll be out here for sure. So
yeah. I mean, it again, best week of the year for golf wise. So let's go.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big win for you.
Listen, I've been trying to say.
Apparently Sunday is going to be sunny now. So there was originally reports of showers for Sunday, which was going to soften up the course on the weekend. But it looks like it's what, Tim?
I said we got to get that rain out of here, man. We need the Augusta sub air down there and just dry that thing out.
Yeah, the weather forecast I see right now is 79 degrees on Sunday. So
good
and sunny.
Someone get in touch with Nuclear Mike. We need a weather report.
Yeah, we miss him. Hopefully he's not with us because he's with ladies.
Yeah.
Mike, we love you.
Yeah, Mike.
Wishing you all the success in the world.
There have been some reports actually of some success in the world.
We'll have to catch up on that off air
some reports.
Actually, breaking news, fellas.
I don't know how we segue into whatever this is.
Apparently, Mike Weather Anand is going to be releasing a weather report tonight.
Let's go.
Oh, son.
Well, I'm looking forward to that.
All rain.
We could have had it as a podcast exclusive, but he doesn't love us like that.
Anyways, all right. We've covered the groups. We've covered the carnage. We've covered the winning scores. Before we bring on our special guest tonight, let's briefly talk about what you guys think the winning score is going to be this week at Oakmont. Let's make some predictions.
I think I don't know why. I hope it's not the case, but I think someone somehow sneaks in like just a 1 under. Like it might just fall below par. Hopefully Scotty, but +1 to -1's my range. I don't think it's going to stray too far either way.
Tim?
That would be very disappointing.
Yeah, I'm going +1 or +1 or +2 I think it's going to fall right around there. I'm hoping for +10, but I just think these. Joey's right. Somebody's probably going to play out of their mind for a couple rounds and be right around even. So anywhere from +1 to +2, I'd be happy with an over par winner.
Hodge.
Come on.
Well, the weather is certainly not encouraging, right? The rain is not encouraging. So if it depends on how much rain there is. If it gets wet, like I very much could see a 2 or 3 under. Kind of getting there, which would be acceptable if the weather's that bad. Hopefully it stays dry and we're somewhere around 4, 5, 6 over, something like that. That's what I would hope for. I guess that kind of averages out to what Joey and Tim are saying, right around even par in the winter, right? But we can all hope for the carnage.
Yeah, I want extreme carnage. I want extreme carnage. I'm going. My range is +5 to +10.
Jeez.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes. That's what I want. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's what I'm cheering for. So let's pray for some carnage. I want to see clubs tossed. I want to see, I want to see buried balls. I want to see search parties out for the balls in the rough.
Yeah.
Caddies, players.
I do want to see one. I want to see one ball hit not that far in the rough, and we just never find it. Like I want to see one just disappear and just lost.
It's gone. Got 8
bunker lip or something. Just want one.
It could be one of those things where it's like in one of those fairways where it just slopes off.
Oh yeah,
and it just runs off a great shot that gets screwed. Like I want to see that. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, that's why. Terrell Hatton will be a fun hot mic to follow.
Yeah,
because if he gets going, it could be F-bomb every 5 minutes out there.
Well, don't sleep on his Legion 13 teammate John Rahm, because he's good for that too. He can do the same thing.
That group's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, that should be an interesting group.
3 mics on at all times.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fellas. That's it for the U.S. Open stuff. I mean, we're not done with the U.S. Open. We're going to chat about Rory. We're going to chat about Bryson. We're going to chat about a bunch of other topics. But without further ado, I'm pleased to welcome in Nicole Felci. Hold on. Let's get her on here. Nicole, can you hear us?
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
No problem. So, Nicole, you're actually a Class A LPGA professional, and the exciting news is that you're actually going to be playing in the KPMG Women's PGA at PGA Frisco, right down in Texas. So,
Yep.
just tell us a little bit about your background, how you got into golf, how many junior tournaments you won, how you became a professional. I mean, that covers a lot of ground there, but let's just start. When did you first get into golf?
At a really young age. I got my first set of plastic clubs when I was like 1 or 2. Honestly, by the grace of God, it was a pure miracle. And I've had my first tournament on my 6th birthday. So I've been playing competitively for almost 15 years.
15 years. And I've heard rumors that you've won like upwards of 100 tournaments, like upwards of 100 junior tournaments. You've played in 160 and you've won like 115. Is that true?
Yeah, I'd say that's about accurate.
And
folks, that's a 77% winning percentage right there. Like, that's insane.
Junior golf was fun. I'll say that. Junior golf was very fun for me.
And then obviously you've qualified for the KPMG Women's PGA. What did it take to get into that field? How long have you been an LPGA professional as well at the Class A designation?
I actually just graduated to Class A like 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
It took me almost 2 years to get through the whole program. It's sort of like college. It's really informative, and it's a tremendous program. I really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend it. But I got into the KPMG via a qualifier last year in August at Innisbrook, where the Valspars played. 3-day tournament, shot 1 under in the last day to finish runner-up, and the top 8 get a spot to the KPMG in the next year. So that's how I'm making my debut, which is pretty special.
No, that's awesome. Congrats on qualifying.
Thank you.
And have you played in any professional, like you've played in some professional tournaments to date, right? You were on was it the Symetra tour, or which tour was it you were playing?
Yeah, I had some Epson Tour status, which is the Symetra Tour now. Then I played some like mini tour events, but this is my first LPGA Tour event.
Wow. So how's your prep been going for the tournament? Has it been like crazy grinds for the last few weeks? Like, have you been putting in long hours each day to get ready for this?
Yeah, definitely. Been really kind of cleaning up my game and exactly what I need to work on based on what the course is like out there to give myself the best shot.
Now, you're based in Florida, correct?
Correct.
You've seen this course though? Have you played any practice rounds there yet? What were your thoughts on it?
Yes, I went out about a month ago and I played it twice. It was incredible. It's an amazing golf course. So there's actually 2 courses out there, but the tournament course next week it's insane. It's wide open fairways, but a lot of bunkers. Greens are pretty undulated. They're pretty fast, so it'll be a fun week. Hit your spot kind of course, but it was really enjoyable.
Yeah, that's
Nicole,
awesome.
if you
Go
could
ahead,
pick your
Hutch.
pairing, who would you be with?
Lexi Thompson and Nelly Korda, for sure.
So that's
That's a super
A-list
group.
pairing. It's an A-list
Yeah.
pairing right there.
It's not bad.
Now, Nicole, who are kind of the LPGA players that have paved the way for you? Like, I mean, not just females, but males. Which golfers do you try to emulate? Which ones do you try to replicate their games, or have really inspired you to go to that next level? Is there anyone that kind of comes to mind?
Yeah, I mean, on the LPGA, Lexi Thompson and Paula Kramer were huge for me growing up. So definitely those 2. I do follow the PGA Tour a lot. I'd say Jordan Spieth for sure, and kind of a newer one that's been out of the circle a little bit. But Aaron Wise has also been a huge inspo for me as well.
Yeah, Aaron Wise has been struggling with some stuff personally, but I think he's starting to get back into the swing of it, right? He's been playing a little bit more recently. So,
he-
I mean, look, no, go ahead, Hush.
No, I just big. I mean, he's still young, so it wouldn't shock me at all for him to be back. But this is huge, Nicole. Like, this is a big tournament. I'm excited for you. What's your
Thank
caddy
you.
situation like? Who's your caddy?
My dad's on the bag. He's always been my
Okay.
caddy, and he's really excited, and he's earned it. He's earned it. He's been with me for 15 years, and I wouldn't want anybody else in the bag with me, honestly.
You gonna pay him
So-
if you win money?
Maybe. His birthday is the last day, so I feel like that would be a big enough gift
Oh
for him.
man.
There you go. Yeah, that's it.
So, Nicole, take us through kind of your day to day. I mean, not just prepping for this tournament, obviously, but your Class A LPGA professional. So, what's kind of a day in the life of Nicole at the course? So, there's obviously practice in there, but you're also doing teaching stuff, right? You're doing lessons and stuff like that. And are you a pro at a course?
Yeah, I'm an assistant pro at a private club in Clearwater.
In Clearwater, okay. So,
Mm.
what's a typical day like? Do you go out and practice in the morning, and then you kind of do lessons whenever someone has one, or do you typically do teaching in the afternoons? What's kind of your day to day?
Yeah, I mean, it varies on the day. I typically will open in the pro shop 2 days a week. So I have some duties in there, and then I'll either schedule a few lessons before I practice or vice versa. Um, I'm kind of make my own schedule with the lessons, so I'm able to book them when it's most convenient between my practice time and my gym time. And I also run a weekly junior class every week. I have 14 juniors right now, so running that for a couple hours a week is fun too. So it's a good thing. I enjoy balancing everything and really learning kind of the ins and outs of the golf industry.
Yeah, for sure. And are you in college as well, or you just been focused on golf so far recently, or what's going on there?
No, so I treated the LPGA program as my college, especially because it
Right.
took me 2 years and there's like quizzes and courses you got to go through. So that was essentially my college because I just felt I would use that more than a college degree.
Okay, now it's amazing that you're playing the KPMG next week, but I mean, I'm sure you've got some goals that go beyond just next week's event. I'm not sure. First of all, what are kind of your expectations for next week, your goals? I'm sure you're going in there looking to play well. It's a huge stage, but what are you looking to do next week?
Honestly, I have two goals in mind. Just have fun and hopefully make the cut. I mean,
Yeah,
those are really kind of the two things I have. The first one being the most important, just having fun and kind of soaking in the experience. This is a once in a lifetime thing, and it's incredible, and I'm really really excited. So I just want to soak it in and learn as much as I can, and meet all the people I can meet, and just enjoy what it's like to be inside the ropes at an LPGA Tour event at a major, and really one of the biggest majors they have on tour.
okay. Now, beyond next week's event, what are you hoping for in your career? Is your goal to kind of, be on the LPGA tour eventually, full time? What's kind of your roadmap?
Absolutely. I'd love to have a career on tour for a few years. It'd be a dream come true. And I'm hoping this is the beginning of that. But I feel a lot less stress about that now, knowing that I have my certification.
Right.
So because, hopefully after a playing career, I can go on to be a teaching professional at a club and just do that and teach and run clinics. So I feel better about giving this 100% playing career wise, knowing that I have that to fall back on. So that's obviously my first goal right now. And then after that, planning on teaching.
All right, we got to ask you about the U.S. Open. It's this week. Any picks? Any picks to win? Are you hoping that we see the carnage out there, or what are you hoping for?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. The rough looks insane. I've been seeing all these videos online. It looks crazy. I honestly, like you guys said earlier, it's hard to pick who's going to win because you never know what's going to happen down the line. But obviously, I'm rooting for Jordan Spieth. So I hope somehow he hits the fairways and makes some putts and doesn't hurt his wrist in the rough. Um, but yeah, I think it's going to be a great week. I hope the scores are high and it gets interesting down the stretch. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, we've talked about it on this show. Just how elevated events become when Jordan Spieth is in the mix. Like, he's truly one of those three guys that can move the needle. Him, Rory, and Tiger. And when those guys are at the top of the leaderboard, more people tune in, like, to an exponential level. So I really hope Jordan Spieth can perform. It would be amazing. It's been a while since he's been, deep in the hunt at a major where he actually has a chance. So I'm hoping for that as well. Hutch, Tim, do you guys have any final questions for Nicole ahead of her LPGA start next week?
I don't.
For me, I just want to say good luck. We'll be cheering for you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
I
really
just wanna
excited.
say good luck, play well, learn everything you can, and have a lot of fun. Smile a lot.
Thank you. I definitely will be, and I hope to be playing the weekend.
Tim is talking to you like your damn dad.
I'm 60 years old. I can.
Nicole, thanks so much for coming on today. We
Thanks
really
for having me, guys. I really
you.
appreciate it. Thank
all
you.
the best at the
Yep.
KPMG, and we'll
Thank
be
you so
cheering you on.
much. Thank you. It was
Go get
great.
'em,
Thank you so
Nicole.
much. Appreciate it.
Good luck.
No problem. See ya. Well, that was awesome. We got a Class A LPGA pro on the show. That's probably our highest profile guest so far. I mean, we've had some great guests. Don't get me wrong, Joey, but you're not a club pro.
Yeah, I don't take that personally.
Joey, at this point, Joey's not even a guest. He's just a co-host.
Yeah.
Like,
Scotty's
he's
the
a regular,
permanent
he's a series
resident.
regular.
He's like Norm on Cheers.
Rest in peace.
Yep.
All right, I want to talk about Rory.
Oh my God.
There's a lot going on with Rory. He obviously missed the cut in Canada. He played horribly. Going into the Canadian Open, he played a practice round at Oakmont. That's where the 81 came from. So we talked a little bit about that. He said he didn't feel like he played all that bad. Birdied 17 and 18. He did explain that the pins were in like some diabolical positions, which, I mean, he said yesterday that he doesn't expect it to be that bad during the tournament. At least he said the day that he played it was like extreme. Not sure if they were just testing things out that day or if they wanted to give him a really good test knowing he was coming in. But I mean, 81's pretty crazy. So says he spent the weekend testing drivers at home. Now, what driver? Well, he did not answer. He said TaylorMade, and they asked him what model. And he said, well, why don't you come out and watch me on the range? Because as a TaylorMade guy, right, like, he's not able to say that he's playing the 2024 driver when he's paid to market the 2025 one. That's what's going on there. So long story short, he's back into the QI10, which is the 2024 model of driver. TaylorMade says that Eamon Lynch reported that he spoke to a TaylorMade rep on the range. He said the driver that Rory's playing this week is, quote, as close as he possibly can to what he used at Augusta. Now, Rory won the Masters with this QI10 driver, and it was after the Masters. It was at the PGA that we had the whole drama with the illegal face, right? He was flagged by the USGA on the range. Scotty was also flagged at that tournament, and several other guys as well. But this has been in the media for a while now. Rory also, skipped speaking to the media at the PGA for 4 straight days. Anyways, back into the QI10. So what are you guys' thoughts? Is this just a non-story that's been completely blown out of the water? Because I honestly think that it kind of has been.
It's a major week about drivers. Like, go play with whatever driver you hit well with. Who cares?
Yeah, but didn't it fail again this week? Didn't he try it?
No, you got
Was that fake? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Nucleared.
No, I was at work, so I didn't get to read the full story. So that's why I'm asking. So
that's fake
I was
news.
like,
there's some
that's
fake,
good.
fake reporting going on out there.
Didn't this happen a couple years ago? And I don't remember if it was going from stealth to stealth 2 But didn't Rory wasn't there a headline at one point that he hated the driver and that he was going to leave TaylorMade and all this stuff? Like I feel like this happens with Rory every now and then, and I think it just comes down to the fact that he's such a great driver of the golf ball that anytime he struggles with it, they look for anything, any reason to why he might be hitting it poorly off the tee. So it's like you guys, it's a non-story. Like Joey said it perfectly. It's a major week, and we're talking about what model of driver one of the best players in the world is using. Like, who cares? I completely agree with you, Joey. Go hit whatever you hit well. I don't care if it's a R7 or a M1 or it doesn't matter. Just hit it.
Well, and if you're TaylorMade, like I get the idea of you want to push, like it's like a Jordan shoe, right? Like you want the best shoes to be like, you want to see the best athletes wearing the shoe because you want people to go wear the shoe. At the end of the day, the difference between a 2024 and 2025 TaylorMade model for your average 10 handicap, literally no difference. It's there's going to be stuff with your swing that's going to, you put any driver in your hands and it's going to be an issue.
You're going to suck no matter what.
So you're wanting to obviously make it look like the best player in the world is using the newest model, but market to the 99.99% of people that would still probably play better with the new one. Like it's just, again, it's kind of like a non-issue that,
sounds just, it just sucks. It just sucks that he's in a tough spot because he comes off as being petty and like a prick, but yet I also understand him being tired of the stupid questions. Like to me, it's the US Open week, dude. Just hit whatever club, hit whatever you want. Doesn't matter. So I hate when people put players in tough positions like that because they don't have a win-win answer on that, and it just sucks. Because totally, I'll watch the press conference and be like, yeah, dude, God, why you got to be a prick? And then well, why do you got to ask those questions? So just kind of stupid.
Well, I think too, he's just being a company guy too. Like he's not gonna dog out. Like let's just say he doesn't like the new driver, 2025 driver. He's not gonna dog that out because he's a TaylorMade guy. He's not gonna dog that out. So that's why he just said, I'm in TaylorMade. It's a TaylorMade driver. And you can come look and see what kind it is on the range. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No. It's business move.
Honestly, I mean, they say the old saying, any publicity is good publicity or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the situation for TaylorMade, to be honest. I mean, obviously Rory's not playing the QI35 driver, but they're still getting a ton of brand exposure out of it all. They're still able to sell the QI10. Like the QI10 is still being sold on discount. It's not like they're not selling that driver.
And they just dropped a Tiger and Rory video today. Like they're fine. That's fine.
Part of the strategy for sure, right? Like it's part of it, but they're getting the attention that they want. There's tons of media about it. Everybody's talking about his driver. I think it's probably overall a good situation for TaylorMade. Not that long ago, Colin Morikawa was playing the sim driver when the stealth drivers were out.
That's
happens all the time.
Yeah, that's what I don't get, because you guys were talking about the Jordan shoes. Like Jordan didn't always wear the most brand new edition of the shoe. He wore whatever he was going to score 45 points in, and everybody bought the shoe because he wore the brand, not necessarily the shoe. So if Rory's playing great with the TaylorMade driver, it doesn't matter what TaylorMade driver it is, he's representing the whole brand. So guys are going to go buy the newest one, and guys are going to play one that's 2 years old, 4 years old. So it's the brand.
If they want something to complain about, Joey, is Scotty still playing the Tiger irons?
Should be. Yeah. I mean, he could hit a little tight set and probably be okay, but But
but I'm saying if somebody wants to complain about something with TaylorMade, I would be complaining, why haven't they made the best player in the world his own set of irons, right? Like it just shows how petty and stupid people are. Like they're just picking at the dumbest things. Like it does not matter.
Scotty's not going to provide them the dramatic answer and the all the different little. That's just not.
He's not going to say, I don't like the P770s.
He'll be like, okay, make me new clubs, I'll swing them. So I mean, Rory's obviously they're kind of their industry guy.
And
most
Taylor May
dramatic-
comes out looking great.
The one dramatic moment we did have from Scotty, though, was when he said, "Go ask them why we're not playing together." That was a few weeks ago. That was his drama for
That
the
was
year.
still pretty mild.
I know, Joey.
That's
but
genuinely
still.
guys ever been like, I don't know, go ask him. Like that's like his,
Yeah,
that's him being casual.
like I don't care.
So
It's just a nonchalant answer.
Yeah, the other component to this Rory conversation has to do with his motivation. So
Yeah,
he's been talking a little bit recently about, he won the career Grand Slam, and now what? Like, I think he kind of admitted yesterday, like, there's like a bit of a transition period here for him. Like, he knows that there's still big tournaments ahead. There's still more things that he wants to achieve, no doubt. But he's content to some degree right now. And I think it's just a little period or a phase that he needs to kind of get through following this Masters win. It was something that he was trying to accomplish for so long. Finally did it. It's like he climbed to the top of the mountain and now he's there. And it's like, why do I have to keep climbing more? I just want to take a break. Like, he's not taking a break, obviously. He's committed to a ton more tournaments this year. He's playing all over the world, actually, right? Like, he's going to India, right? He's going
playing Scottish again.
Yeah.
Hell, he's done it all, right, Tim? He might as well just retire to live.
I mean, if they're going to give him $500 million, you might as well.
Now, John, I think the most obvious example of this is probably 2019 Tiger, right? Like he won the Masters, and it's kind of very similar that he got to that mountaintop again after all that he'd been through. It's kind of like he was starting over, got to the mountaintop again, and then was kind of, I mean, if we're being honest, was kind of bad in the other majors the rest of the year, right? Like, so
he was like, okay at Pebble. He played decent.
Yeah, I mean, but it wasn't like, it's just kind of, I see a lot of similarities to it is all I'm saying. Cause you got to the mountaintop and then it's just kind of like, all right, I'm here. Let me relax a little bit and just kind of enjoy it, because for Rory too, cause it's been 11 years now. Is that right? How long has it been since he's been trying to
2014, right?
Yeah. So 11 years of trying to get to the mountaintop and, 10 misses and finally got it. And here we are, right? Like, so he deserves to kind of have this moment where he's like, I need to find the motivation.
That's a long time, right? Like to go, not just to complete the slam, but like to win a major, like, for a guy like him, of his stature, his abilities, like last win was in 2014 prior to, right? 11 years for a major at all. Like, in some senses, I know he always was on the record saying like, I've achieved everything but that. I've achieved everything but that. I've won the Players. I've won the Race to Dubai, all this stuff, right? But if you just think about that, like he had plenty of opportunities to win them and couldn't close the deal. So to finally get that done, it must be a relief.
He's gotten second at the U.S. Open twice in a row the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what I was gonna say. The grind of grinding so hard to win a major again, not necessarily the Masters, just a major, and then you happen to break it at the one that you need. It doesn't, to me, in my opinion, it doesn't matter how great you are. The longer you go without winning it, the more it gets in your head. Just look at Phil. He's been trying to win the U.S. Open for 34 years. And how many times has he finished second? I mean, how many times has he had the win right there and then just couldn't get it done, whether he bounced it off a tent or Payne Stewart made a great putt to beat him at Pinehurst? It's just, that grind is so hard mentally that after he won the Masters, you could literally just see it, all go away. And it seems natural for the next however many months to just not be as focused and driven as you were, because you did it for 11 straight years and now you just need a break to recharge. So I hope he plays well. But I wouldn't be surprised either way
I'm not expecting much from him, to be honest. This week.
John, I think to me, like, watch him play great just to spite all these people who are dogging him for not talking to the media about the driver and then sitting there asking about all this stuff. I wouldn't be shocked if he came out and just played great, not necessarily win, but he's right there on Sunday. He certainly has the game for it, right? Like he's certainly good enough to.
I think he's kind of playing, just real quick, I think he's kind of playing like carefree. So, I mean, it's like that's such a big hangover of 11 years to like work towards something, then get it.
Yeah.
Still a great golfer. Still, playing towards the top of his game. So, I mean, I could see a couple top threes, top fives for the rest of the season. But that kind of like winning hangover, dude, that's such a tough hump to get over.
Yeah. Okay, let's pivot to Bryson.
Scotty.
Let's pivot to Bryson. So Bryson's on the record. He says, Live Golf is, quote, not going anywhere. He is excited to be negotiating a new deal once the contract is up. He said that process will begin towards the end of this year, with his Live contract expiring in 2026. He said, quote, they see the value in me. I see the value in what they can provide, and I believe we'll come to some sort of resolution on that. Super excited for the future. So there's different ways to interpret this. I mean, obviously it was prepared for the question, right? Some sort of resolution. I mean, you can imply that they're very far apart right now with that. On the other hand, he's talking it up, saying that he loves being at Live. And I mean, I think he does to some degree, right? Like, of all the guys that are on Live, I think Bryson takes it the most serious in a way, like in terms of the team element, in terms of like proudly representing the Crushers, wearing that logo everywhere he goes. It feels like he is a true representative of the league. Do you guys get that sense about Bryson?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it like a week or two ago. Like, I mean, obviously you knew that Live, like, they have to keep him on. Like, he's like their guy right now, especially with the YouTube golf. You kind of have to run with it. And obviously we also talked about he's got the dream set up, right? Like, yes, like I don't think he's fully like bought in, like only Live. Like, he still, he has a passion for the game of golf and likes the competitiveness of it. He wants to play in those majors. But again, you got the dream deal. You're still signed with Live. You're still making a lot of money. You get to go make YouTube videos at cool places and meet new people, travel the world, make content, and grow your game popularities. These younger kids are just going to grow more into Live. So, I mean, I think a lot of the PJ Live talk is more just business, him kind of shooing that to the side. But, I mean, that's kind of – I mean, he's going to answer like that. He's not leaving Live and that he's just going to push it to the side.
I think that's part of it too. I think for him is he's got a lot more freedom with Live than he would with the PGA Tour in terms of like he can go and he can shoot content inside the ropes and put it out on YouTube, and he can have fun little matches and practice rounds and put it on YouTube. And for him being kind of the face of this new era of golf, like that's exactly what he needs. And honestly, if the PGA Tour would embrace that, they'd probably be a lot better off in a lot of people's eyes. But Bryson it's just like we said, Joey, like he absolutely is a must keep. They've got to open up the bank to keep him. I mean, they're going to have to. They have to.
Yeah. No, you can't. I don't want to say cease to exist without him, but
it hurt a lot.
Cease to exist. Brooks
and DJ aren't like. There's a lot of names. Like obviously Joaquin's playing right now, but he's not really like much of a personality. He doesn't have a huge online. Mm-hmm. So like Bryson is absolutely your 1-1. You have to retain him.
He's the most famous, probably the most popular, famous, whatever golfer that's active right now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just his reach is so massive that anybody would be lucky to have him. And I do think that that's a huge part of why he's staying loyal to Live is because of the freedom that he has as a result of being with them.
Yeah. One observation I had this week was just the content he's creating inside the ropes. Like he put out a video on social media. He's like got the camera in front of him. He's like, I'm hitting here at the 290-yard par 3, hole 8. He's got the crowd behind him looking on. Like he's literally about to hit his shot in a practice round, and he's filming a video.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. Like he's embracing it. The fans like him. He's really taken what Live provides and ran with it in that sense, that they've embraced the content side of things in that way. He also said he's optimistic about the new irons that he has in play. I think they're LA Golf, like a special collaboration
protos or whatever.
with Bryson. We do have an update on the ball situation. So if you guys remember a couple months ago, he said his success at the US Open would be dependent on manufacturing. He was talking about the golf ball, whether he'd be able to get a new ball in time. He said the golf ball is a little longer discussion. It's going to be a bit of time. I'm still working on it. So you can assume he doesn't have a new ball in play this week, but he does have the irons, which he's had in play for the last little bit now. And he's excited about it. And I think those irons might be coming to retail. I'm not entirely sure, but he said he's looking forward to sharing it with the world. So I kind of interpreted that as an LA Golf product that's going to be for sale.
You know, he's been he's been in really good form lately. He hasn't gotten it done on Sundays. Hadn't finished quite as strong, but he's been in really good form. He's been right there in the last few. I'm talking about going back to other tournaments that he played, the PGA, the Masters, stuff like that, Tim, not just Live. He's been in great form. So it's going to be kind of an interesting week because he can't do it like Winged Foot and just bomb it all over everything and hit out of this rough like he could at Winged Foot. So we'll kind of see. It might, if you saw his practice round at Oakmont that he filmed and put out on YouTube a few weeks ago, now granted he played, it was cold, but he kind of hinted that he might have to take a little more conservative approach rather than just bombing driver all week.
Bryson did say, this was courtesy of Christopher Powers over on X. He said, Bryson says he's going to play as fearless as possible this week, but still has to be strategic about it. Can't bomb and gouge it like in 2020. It's not like every single hole is Winged Foot out here.
Ouch.
He also said he was asked if any player has reached out for advice on how to start a YouTube account. He said Phil and Rom did. He said his number one piece of advice is to listen to the comments section to see what they want. So there you go. Like, he literally embraces the fans, produces content based on what they're looking for, and people love it. So it's great that we have Bryson DeChambeau in the game of golf, and it's even better when we get to see him play with PGA Tour players at the majors.
It's gonna be weird seeing him balance because half his, I know he wants to win, but he also loves a good clip of him hitting like a crazy shot where he drives a green. So seeing him balance, going conservative with trying to get a clip, it's gonna be hard to see him, balance the two, but should be fun.
Yeah.
Have you guys been still keeping up with the NHL, watching the playoffs, or are you guys checked out?
I mean, I know it's USA versus America, or USA versus Canada at this point. So I got my dog in the front. Sorry, John.
It's Florida versus Edmonton.
Yeah, it's been a good series.
Oh, well, give me Florida because Brooks Koepka likes it and Live for Life.
Fanboy alert.
Yeah, I know. For as much as I'm a hater, it's a fanboy right over here.
But I don't hate the
Lord.
PGA Tour. I just,
Jeez.
I enjoy a little variety. And a business thing is you can either be better than or different than, and they're different than, and I enjoy that. It's nice. But yeah, the hockey thing, what's the series at, John?
2-1 Florida.
2-1 Florida.
Who's the better team?
Tomorrow night.
Florida's the better team, are they not?
Yeah, like Florida's the defending Cup champions, right? They're a really strong team. People are hoping that the Oilers, Canadians are hoping that the Oilers can come through.
It'll be the first time Canada won the Cup since when? 1992?
Yeah, 34 years, something like that.
Jeez.
34 years. How many teams do they have in Canada?
How many teams?
3?
Yeah.
4?
There's 7.
7 in the NHL.
Oh, dang, y'all let us in on hockey and we just took over.
Montreal won in 93, I believe. So.
Calgary, Toronto, Winnipeg, Edmonton,
Toronto,
Ottawa,
Winnipeg, Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver Canucks.
Vancouver, yeah.
It's wild.
What about the NBA Finals? You've been keeping up with that, John?
Montreal.
On right now, isn't it?
Yeah, the NBA
Is
Finals
that
is on
NBA
right now.
Finals? I'm not too dialed into that. What's going on with that?
It's basketball.
No.
No, I know
It's
that, Joey.
basketball. It's the series is tied 1-1, game 3 right now. And I'm just looking, and the score
64-60 at half. Pacers.
Yeah, so the Pacers kind of
Whoa.
shocked in game 1.
Yeah.
And stole one over in OKC.
Yeah.
So this is it's kind of cool, John, because it's 2 smaller market teams, which doesn't happen all that often.
Right.
So it's kind of cool to see. I don't know what the ratings are. I would imagine the ratings would be bigger if we had like the Lakers and the Knicks in the finals or whatever. But
Yeah.
for people who enjoy basketball, this is kind of cool because smaller market teams often make it.
I believe game 1 had the worst finals ratings ever.
That's not surprising.
Not ever.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's got to be bad. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if the ratings were bad just because they're small markets.
Couple other tidbits before we head out. Phil Mickelson said that this could be his final U.S. Open. So the Grand Slam, if he wants to complete it, might have to be this week. He said, quote, "I haven't thought about it too much. There's a high likelihood that it will be, but I haven't thought about it too much." He was asked about, I think he was also asked if he would actually go and try and qualify. He said he hasn't given that much thought either. It wouldn't be surprising if this is kind of the final time.
Is this his last time exempt?
I believe so.
Yeah,
going back to the PGA. So yeah, because he needed an exemption one time prior to that, did he not?
I think he did, but then he got second in the Masters, didn't he? And so that was a different time.
Maybe,
but this is, I wouldn't be shocked if the USGA didn't give him an exemption, especially like for somebody like him who's been so close and gotten runner-up 6 times or whatever. Like he feels like one of those guys who deserves to have like that Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus send off where they miss the cut on Friday, but they're in the early morning wave on Friday. So they get the big standing ovation coming up down the stretch, whatever, as he gets older. So I wouldn't be shocked if he got an exemption at some point for that, if he doesn't play his way in.
It could happen. This is the final year of Mickelson's 5-year exemption, which goes back to the 2021 PGA. 54 years old. He's a 6-time runner-up at the U.S. Open.
Brutal.
That's just tough. That's tough. It's a tough scene. 6 times. I mean, you hope to convert one of those.
Yeah. But you know what I bet it comes down to? The exemption thing probably comes down to where the relationship is between USGA, PGA, and LIV at this point next year. Like, there's so much up in the air right now that just nobody knows. It could go 1,000 different ways.
Yeah. And the last thing I wanted to touch on, our boy Tiger. He was seen on the course for the first time since undergoing surgery to repair his left Achilles tendon. It took place on March 11th. He was in a golf cart watching Charlie compete at the Florida State Amateur Championship. And he also witnessed Jake Sherwin make an ace and then took a photo with him after, which is pretty cool. So I'm not sure
highlight of that kid's life. It is all downhill from there for that kid.
This is not the first time a kid has made an ace.
You remember that at his little par 3 course that he opened or whatever.
Yeah.
The par 3 course at Blue Jack National, which he was the inaugural, opening first ever ball hit at the course, like ceremonially.
Yeah.
And that was back in I believe that was in 2016. So
yeah, because I remember the kid hugging him and us thinking, "Oh God, don't hurt his back."
Right.
Right.
But back to the cart. He's in the cart. Looked like there was no boot, so that's a positive. I mean, this is kind of how it begins. This is how these comebacks begin. They start slowly. He emerges. He's been in hibernation for 4 months now, and then randomly he just appears. The dog days of rehab the darkest days are over. I'm sure. He's reemerged. He's out there. He's back on the course. It's a positive sign. I mean, who knows when he's going to play next, but I wouldn't be surprised if things start to kind of
Trickle out.
Yeah.
A little anonymous source here or there.
Yeah,
I still think it's going to be
the
Hero or PNC, but whichever one's first. But
going the Open.
Hey, John, did you see the thing that Bob from Bob Does Sports put up today?
No, I didn't.
That Charlie apparently called him and asked him to caddy for him in an event.
Bad
Really?
And he couldn't do it. Like he was out of state, and it was going to be like, I'll have to send you the clip, but he was like, yeah, Charlie called. He said, Charlie Woods called me. I was with my dad at a restaurant, and he asked me to caddy for him on Monday morning at 8 a.m. and I wasn't going to fly in time. And he was like, could you just imagine like Tiger looking over and seeing me on the bag? So I think that's kind of cool too, that, as we look forward down the line, 10, 15 years from now, if golf keeps going the way it's going, that Charlie, even if he's on tour, he could kind of get into the YouTube space, and then we might see some Tiger appearances in that as he ages and quits playing professionally or competitively, whatnot. So that was kind of cool to see that Charlie's kind of embracing that world.
Absolutely. It's always good to see Tiger on a golf course in any capacity. So we hope to, maybe see him at the Open. I don't know. I'm not holding my breath, but it is possible. I would say it's maybe possible based on where things are heading, but probably not. Like, if we're being realistic, that's literally in a month.
It's got to be PNC or
it's going to be Hero or PNC again, and we'll start talking about
we'll ramp up and then see what happens, and we'll get disappointed again. It's just a vicious cycle.
Yeah,
it's going to be the Open. It's going to be the Open.
We'll see. All right, before we head out, predictions for the U.S. Open. Who are you guys picking for the week? Let's hear it, Tim.
Colin Morikawa.
I like that.
+2.
I like that.
Right,
I like that
guy.
I think he's a great contact. He strikes the ball unbelievable. If he could just make some putts when he needs to. I'm not going with Scotty because we already got Scotty's guy in here. So Scotty's probably going to win. But I think Colin has a good shot because he's a great ball striker, and this is a ball striker's course.
Yeah. Scotty. I will say Scotty at 1 under. 1 under is I know that's not what I'm hoping for. Again, I'm hoping for a little bit more carnage, but straight prediction will go Scotty at -1. But I don't know. I'd like to see somebody else kind of emerge and at least make it, dramatic.
I'm gonna rock with
I'm rocking with the dentist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go John Rahm. That's what I want to see.
That'd be certainly
I think it's doable.
I think it's doable.
Yeah.
John, who's your real prediction?
Well, I can tell you guys it's not going to be Rory. I don't think it's going to be Scotty either, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be Scotty. I like the Morikawa pick. I like the Morikawa pick, to be honest. His irons could come alive.
Yeah.
He played well at Muirfield. He just choked a little bit. I think he's got some good opportunity.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that could be in it this week. Like, especially if scoring is truly over par, it's going to be so bunched. Like, anybody that makes the cut could literally have a chance to win if it's an over par winning score.
Do you think Ben Griffin stays hot?
Buddy, he's been on fire.
He really has been.
Buddy.
I don't know
So we have a comment from co-owner Brent. He wants the course to win, and he wants a fully lost course, he says, and players quitting.
Players quitting?
What?
Yeah.
I'm done.
Lord.
I'm done. I'm just
how many withdrawals do we get? 4 or 5?
Guys know what they're signing up for.
Yeah.
Like, guys will grind it out.
Embrace the suck.
But, yeah. at least if you do shoot a really high number, there's going to be a ton of other guys shooting a really high one too.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I like Harris English this week too. I don't know why. That's my dark horse. Like, if you're gonna pick a guy to win that's not in the top 10, I don't know. He's another good ball striker. I think you're gonna see a lot of guys that strike the ball. The guy that strikes the ball the best this week, I think, will win too. I mean, obviously, but I don't think sometimes in a major, guys will scramble their way to a win. I think this week you're going to have to hit the ball pure. I mean, or you're going to be in trouble. And we got guys putting the ball down the fairway from 125 yards.
I saw that. But in all honesty, I'm hoping for a massacre.
Right.
That's what we want, right? We want a massacre. I don't know if we're going to get it to that degree, but what do you guys think the cut's going to be? What's the cut line going to be?
Oh God.
Plus 15.
9.
Yeah. I was going to say 9. I think 9's a good number.
If I want the winning score to be plus 2, then I'll say the cut will be plus 11.
Fair enough.
Plus 12. But I mean,
you know what we're not going to get? A birdie fest where somebody's 30 under that wins, and that's all that matters ultimately.
Because I'm tired of that.
Yeah,
I think if someone gets 3 or 4 birdies in a round, that'll be considered a birdie fest.
I want to see whoever wins, who has the lowest, or who has what's the total bogey or worse combined for 4 rounds for that winner. It's probably got to be.
There were some. It was like
20 plus.
There was some long odds that I saw for anybody to have a bogey-free tournament. Like it's gonna be impossible.
Not happening at this.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Not a shot.
But can't wait. And
dude,
we're back here to talk about it again Friday. Is that right?
We're back Friday. We're back Sunday.
Hell yeah.
Okay. We'll see where we're at cut-wise on Friday.
Yeah, we'll have a ton to talk about Friday.
What do you guys think the 36-hole lead will be? Because we're gonna talk about it on Friday. So
it's gonna be weather dependent. So we'll need to get a little weather report, see how it plays out.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to see that be a couple under par.
Well, tomorrow, man, I'm thinking it's gonna be over par after round 1.
We'll see. They may not even finish round 2 on Friday. I mean, who knows? We'll just have to kind of feel it out and see. Who knows?
All right, fellas. I think we're gonna wrap it there. It's been a great show. We've discussed a ton. I'm looking forward to the U.S. Open, and I know you guys are too. We're gonna be back on Friday night, as Hutch said. We're live right here on X and on YouTube whenever we go live. Make sure you keep your notifications on for our account so you're notified when we're going live. I also encourage you guys to subscribe to the podcast at Nuclr Golf on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music. We're also going to start trying to pump some clips out to X as well, just to kind of promote the show a little bit more. But you can find us on all the major podcast platforms and then live on X and YouTube. As always, my name's John. Been joined tonight by Joey, Hutch, and Tim. Hope everybody enjoys the U.S. Open. Pray for carnage. And we'll see you all on Friday night at 8:30 p.m.
Carnage.